Getting done in by pop-ups again. Getting
What,
done in by
pop-up ads?
pop-ups again. No, not pop-up ads. Just there's one pop-up that comes up that just covers the go live button on Instagram, and I'm not going live on Instagram. So simple as that. So it says what it is on the 10 week 6 preview. We got some big games coming up. Obviously the big one in the National Premiership, but then also some ones that I think are good, but for different reasons. Me and Cam are going to go into it. Jamie might make an appearance, but basically we don't know what's going on in Doha. Do you know anything that's going on in Doha?
No, I think it's just because he's been busy.
Busy doing what? That's the question.
Um,
Building Legos.
yeah, it is just building Legos.
That's all he does out there. So, yeah, I mean, me and Cam are going to dive into it. Let's start, of course, with the National Premiership, probably the biggest game of the weekend. A very strange situation for the UE Bullets to find themselves in here, not being the team that are favoured to win this game. The UE Bullets versus the Durham Saints.
Have more of us picked for them to lose?
Mm-hmm.
Have we?
Yeah.
Good.
Because we do have the AI now.
Yeah. Is it skewed by? Is it me and you that have picked them to lose?
No, I've picked them to win.
Oh,
it's me and S. It's me and S. It's me and SJ. Because for me, anyway, you look at the Bullets. They have to be aware that it's crunch time, and I think that they're a team that can come back from being down. And they understand that the pressure is on them, and I think they can get it away. But I'd say if Durham walk away with the victory, I wouldn't be particularly surprised.
Yeah, I guess from my perspective, it's almost a bit of hopium, really, of for the first time. God, I don't know how many years.
A long time.
Lost more than one game in a regular season at least. It's been a very long time, long time coming, and I think if anyone's going to do it, it'll be this Durham side.
I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? It's like if there's one team that is going to do it, it's probably going to be Durham. Like you could walk away and sort of expect the Bullets maybe to beat the Gold, losing to the Gold by a point again. I mean, I can't imagine we're going to see the exact same narrative we saw last year, which is one loss Bullets going and storm the rest of the league. We get a 2 loss Bullets. That's an interesting story for UE, and
that's it. I mean, 2 lost Bullets is potentially the 3 seed, and you see a match Durham or you see a world where UWE don't make the finals if they lose this game.
Well, this is it, because there's 2 championships within the National Premiership. It's sort of like the regular season championship, which obviously UE won last year. Again, I think it was against Notts. They won the regular season. They get a trophy for that, and then there's I guess it's sort of like they win, like in college football, they'll win like the American, and then they can win the national championship.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, good. It's very good to see. It's a shame that they always play the same teams every year. I'd love like an FA Cup in Uniball. Imagine random draw every year.
It would be nice, but I mean, I don't think we're big enough for that yet.
Could you imagine?
It would be funny.
UWE away to the University of, I don't know,
Aberdeen.
I guess would be like Aberdeen, wouldn't it? But
Aberdeen.
Can you imagine the scoreline? UWE Bullets versus Lincoln Colonials.
2-0. 2-0. No,
that's the scoreline.
It's an interesting one, and to be fair, I thought it was away until Tuesday, so I was like, oh yeah, so but no, but I've realised that I've probably got to go to this game, so I will. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to sound a bit, cliche, but there's a solid possibility that this is the most amount of Americans you will see on a pitch in England outside of Wembley or Tottenham.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
is a pretty crazy, statistic.
That's
But
it. I don't think there's a way around that. Most Americans you'll see in a American football game, really.
yeah, unless the Aztecs pull off an absolute blinder, and get more Americans in. But I think it generally could be the most American game um, outside of a large stadium, and you can go watch it for free at Hillside Gardens kickoff at
That's
4.
it.
So if you do want to go,
mean,
but it has been
it
live
means
streamed as
it'll
well.
probably be the
So.
best one as well. Most Americans on the field, in theory, it's probably the best game in Britball.
Well, we don't know that. Loughborough versus Leeds Beckett, not a massive talking point on this one. I don't think the woes for Beckett are going to come to an end.
But the question is, do Loughborough put up more than 40 points on them?
Probably no, but then
No,
again,
yeah,
it's
that's it. That's it. I don't think. I think if they do, Beckett will still put up 20 to match.
Yeah, it would like a.
I could see it being a shootout game, but still in Loughborough's favour, like a
Yeah,
46-21 type affair.
I'd agree with that. I think that there's possibilities here for. I mean, you look at Beckett against Gold. They got they what was it 69-12, or was that the Durham score?
That was no, that was the Notts score, I think.
But basically,
it was Durham score. You're right.
But Leeds Beckett put points on Gold, even if it's like putting Gold's backups in, right?
No,
That's still impressive.
That was Loughborough. That wasn't Notts. That wasn't Leeds Beckett that scored.
No, Beckett definitely put some points on Nottingham Gold. I don't know how much.
The Durham game will be streamed. I think it's all done via UWE.
Yeah, I just said that, bro. What?
It was just asked in chat.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Who's it? Was it Russ? Yeah, it was Coach Russ.
Yeah,
it'll be streamed. It'll be on UE's performance sport thing.
Is that one free? What's with all the unis charging now this year?
Mate, number one, it is free, and number two, I don't know. If they want, live streams they don't have to pay for, they could always talk to Deb Child Sports. If we're free. Yeah. So moving on to, we've actually got a lot of Saturday games this week.
Do we?
It's not part of the reason why this is on a Thursday, though. That is because I'm busy tomorrow. But no, we got 3. Right, we've got Exeter and Cardiff, Warwick and NTU, and UE versus Durham.
Great games. Some very good games.
Get into the Prem North. Warwick versus NTU at Butts Park. If you do want to go down, I think they're calling it Touchdown. Last time these two faced off at Butts Park, I believe it was. I'm not going to do the meme, but it was 6-7. The Wolves over the NTU. Oh, brilliant! I knew someone was going to do it. It was, 1 point game. Very, very low scoring. Can Warwick keep it going?
Yeah,
they've already beaten NTU once this season, I believe.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, I think first game of the season they played.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it's going to be too much of the same. I do like the rivalry between Warwick and NTU, that they do try and sort of make it a bit special. But in the overarching story of Uniball, I can't see why it's not going to be the Warwick Wolves.
Yeah, no, agreed. But there's nothing that indicates that Warwick is suddenly going to take a step back. NTU are going to take a step forward. Warwick are just so well coached.
Yeah.
That I guess it'd be ridiculous to suggest otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, unless Newcastle can pull something out here. But speaking of the Raiders, they're going to compete in their second game, and they're doing some great social media work, making sure that people are aware that this is a varsity rivalry as they face Northumbria Mustangs. This is going to be a very interesting game, and I think I'm not going to put words in you. I'm not going to put words in your mouth here. But if I'm the Leeds Griffins, I'm looking at this game like we need to see who's the weak link out of these two.
Well, that's it. From my perspective, at least from who we faced, I can tell you what game was closer. Scoreline says which game was closer. We lost by a field goal. So it's clear in my mind what I hope the outcome of the game is. If Northumbria lose, it's very clear that the mission is beat Northumbria. if Northumbria win, everything becomes a lot murkier for the Griffins. But that there's a long season ahead of us still.
Exactly right.
We've got what 5 games to play still.
Yeah, like
No,
we've not
6 games even.
we've not seen a lot of the Leeds Griffins. You know, we've
No,
you
we
know
played week 1, week 2, and then we've been sat down ever since. Really.
yeah, but I mean, I think everyone's gone for the Newcastle Raiders. Obviously, Newcastle only winning one game was against Leeds, but they've had a long time to sit on this, and I think it could be a situation like a Sheffield Hallam, Sheffield Sabre situation, that in the sense of the Newcastle Raiders they've been focusing solely on the Northumbrian Mustangs for the last 5 weeks.
Yeah,
While
and
Northumbria,
Newcastle look good. Sorry to interject, but they look good. I don't know what they looked like last year, obviously, but from what I've seen, their recruitment seems to have been really, really good, especially around the trenches. They've got some big guys that have come in, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what wins it for them, because that's definitely what won it for them against us. They're well drilled on special teams as well, ridiculously so. So it'll be a fun one.
So then in the south, Exeter versus Cardiff. I mean, I think it's going to be a very good game after seeing both teams. But I mean, as it sort of stands right now, Cardiff are always going to be linked to the term of relegation.
I don't see it this season.
Well, if
I
you let me
think.
finish, well, if you let me finish,
Okay, sorry.
I'd say if they are able to beat Exeter, you can sort of cast that particular storyline out of your mind. But then you have to then go to Exeter. You're 0-3 now, and that loss. One of your losses was against Portsmouth, who were also in a very very difficult position.
Yeah, I think losing to Portsmouth is a killer. I thought they looked quite good against Brunel. I think that a lot of people thought the same. And then, is it the case that Portsmouth have suddenly got their act together and turned everything around in the course of 1 week, 2 weeks? I don't think it is. I don't think that's something that just happens overnight. Do I think Portsmouth got lucky? No, they might have done, but no. I think it looks dark for Exeter, really, off the back of all these results. I don't think Cardiff are an easy team to face this year, and I don't think it's one Exeter are going to walk away with a win in.
I mean, away at Exeter on a Saturday night. Exeter.
True.
I mean, I put this like Exeter are going to be coming into this game. They made a big deal about debuting this lovely white kit. Whenever you debut a new kit, you don't want your first game to be a loss, because then that uniform's snake bitten for the rest of the foreseeable. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be sort of classic sort of Prem South bottom 3 if
They shared wins.
if Exeter come away with the victory here. And again, it wouldn't surprise me that much, but Cardiff. Sorry?
I think Cardiff looked good against SGS, though. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider it a bottom 3 this year. I think it's more of a top 3.
Okay. They're not sending you a hoodie, mate.
I don't want a hoodie. I'm just.
You're not getting one.
I've been agreeing with your long-standing opinion that Cardiff are actually kind of good. I didn't agree
No, they are
couple of
good.
weeks ago. And now I'm fairly on the train.
Get off the train. Scottish one. If it happens, Heriot Watt versus Aberdeen.
It won't happen.
Probably won't happen. Even if it does, Heriot Watt.
Don't know.
No, I'm happy with Heriot Watt. I'm happy with that pick.
Yeah.
Again, I just want Heriot Watt to be good. I remember when Heriot Watt were good. Simple as that. Glasgow versus Edinburgh 2. Obviously, Glasgow having their QB missing really has damaged their season, but both teams sitting at 2-1.
Yeah.
Mavericks obviously having a big loss to Napier, but then that's not too much of a surprise. But I think this game is definitely going to be sort of the be all and end all about who is going to be the second place team in the Scottish One.
I don't know. I think you're writing off Sterling a little bit there.
I'm 100% writing off Sterling. You can't lose 35-0 to Napier. I know Napier are good, but that's a bit too much.
Didn't Napier beat Edinburgh 42-0?
No, I think Edinburgh put points on them. Or am I wrong?
I think it was 42-0 to Napier.
Oh, Christ.
So I think you've written Sterling off a little bit here, to be honest with
Yeah, I
you.
have.
And I agree with the Glasgow sentiment, but you've also got to look. They're 2-1. Cool. Who are they
42 to 6, mate.
Okay, apologies. Still
So
bad.
it's
Worst
only
point differential.
exactly. So it's only 1 point worse. But
Exactly. No, but I
but
think
but
you've
but
got to
but I'm
look at.
but hold on. But I'm not saying that is. I suppose I don't know. 'Cause I guess if Glasgow are missing their QB, it does take a little bit away.
Well,
But
Glasgow's wins are against Heriot Watt and Aberdeen. Easily, one's a
yeah,
walk-up. What the other one
yeah,
is the worst division that's played a game.
yeah. But isn't one of Sterling's wins over Aberdeen as well?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, one of every team's wins is against Aberdeen, so the
Yeah, that's a
points
very
move
good.
quickly.
That's a very that's a very
Realistically,
astute point. Yeah, that's very
you've got
true.
you've got to subtract a win from every team's record because come the end of the season,
Yeah,
every team's got an extra win on. Harriet Watt will have a win this season.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
it.
I mean, definitely, I'm definitely going to try and have Ramona on the show on Monday, just so we can go through some of the Scottish one. But no, I still think this is a game. Whoever wins this game is making the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, that's
That's
that's a fair one.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, I personally think 3 from Scotland might make it. I think did 3 make it last year? Or
Yeah, Sterling, Napier, and Edinburgh.
yeah, I think that's the exact same 3 that make it this year. I think Glasgow's QB getting injured has probably done them over in the
Oh,
long
100%.
term. And I go based off what Ramona says for
Yeah.
Scotland, really. And she thinks that Sterling are the second best team in Scotland. So I'm inclined to believe that.
Yeah. Again, Monday we'll try and have Ramona on and we can discuss Scotland a bit more from the eyes of someone who's there. I mean, MMU versus Lancashire. MMU 7-0 over Liverpool last week. My hope it's strange how some teams can lose stock in a win, and that's a stock losing
That's
victory
it.
for
It's
MMU.
it's disappointing
Yeah,
when I know it sounds harsh when watching the Lancashire Rams story when they were playing Liverpool and just seeing the ball snapped over QB head, ball snapped over QB head in 16 touchdowns. Wow.
yeah,
And then seeing MMU post 7-0 at halftime and going, okay, they're just off to a slow start. And then seeing the full-time result
yeah. Exactly
the
right.
exact same,
It's
I was confused.
MMU might be the most confusing team this year because some instances they look good, and then in some instances like the game against the Tyrants, which is like
That's
what's
it.
going on? Like it's 7-0. You go, what's going on? I
It's
don't
so
know.
hot cold.
I don't know. Because I'm sure that we will have the first ever Depth Chart Sports Awards show, and I'm unsure if we will bring any awards over from where we were previously, but obviously the Sunderland award for what this team's what very
So what are they doing? Oh, he's gone. I'm running the show now.
no you're not.
Welcome, my special guest, Chris Tebbert.
Are we still here?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still here.
Where did I get to?
You were talking about the Sunderland award and how confusing MMU are this season.
Yeah, I mean they're front runners for it right now, in the sense of they're just having a very very strange year.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean
he's having odd years.
But I mean in terms of MMU I still think they've got to be happy they're probably aware that they're not going to be relegated this year. There's very little chance of that unless Edge Hill or Liverpool can come up with something. Obviously, only beating Liverpool by 7 doesn't give them a massive barrier to get over. But
Yeah.
I mean, you're sort of playing where you sort.
They're 2-1, aren't they?
Who? MMU?
MMU.
Edge Hill and 2-1.
Liverpool.
I might have that wrong.
Edge Hill and Liverpool.
Yeah, it must be.
I'm not sure they physically can be relegated.
No.
I think if they win or draw one more game, they'll be fully safe. I think 3 wins is definitely the bottom line to ensure non-relegation.
Yeah, and I think I mean, obviously, then I don't think they're going to be walking away with a victory today going against the Rams.
Oh
You
no, I
know,
don't think anyone in that
you know,
division.
I think Lancashire probably go into games like with MMU and Manchester. And be like, we can actually, put some tape on film here that it can actually, impress people and get them worried again. With
That's it.
with the Rams, like their biggest opponent is the postseason, and I've spoken to Coach Bloomfield about this in the sense of, for some reason, like postseason Lancashire Rams are just not as good as regular season Lancashire Rams. But
Yeah,
through injuries or it's probably through injuries.
it is
But
through injuries.
I mean, like they're still like one of the top runners. I still think that you know I'd love to say that when it comes to like March and it's Napier versus Lancashire, that I would go and watch that game because I imagine it's probably going to be at Edinburgh. Um, that depends if Dylan
Depends on
lets
point
me,
differentials.
of course, um, it depends if Dylan lets me sleep on his couch, which he should do. Um, so I mean, and okay, moving on. This is a big game.
Okay.
This is a big game in terms of we really don't know who's going to win this one. I think we've all gone for Liverpool, but it is the 0-2 Edge Hill Vikings versus the 0-3 Liverpool Raptors.
Come on, don't lie. We all know who's winning this game. It's not
Well, I don't
opinion.
know.
No,
We've all gone for
no.
Liverpool.
It's exactly because Edge Hill are easily the worst team in Div 1 in the country. It's not
Aberdeen.
just the North. It's bad. At least,
Yeah, but you just hate Edge Hill. We all
I
know that
don't.
you specifically hate Edge Hill.
No. But they're not good. I appreciate them, and I know they work hard.
They
And
beat your team when you were on it.
I'm not very good at American football. What
Oh.
can I say? Um, so I played Div 2 Uniball. I'm not.
Yeah, but
I'm
look
not
at
in
them.
great.
So did they, and now they're playing Div 1 Uniball. You've got to have dreams, Cam, for
And next
crying out
season
loud.
they'll also be playing Div 2 Uniball.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably yeah. Yeah, that
So
is true. I
I
put it. No,
like.
okay. So let me sort of rephrase it here. It's a bit of a damning indictment if Liverpool don't win this game.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. But I think from my perspective, it was the result against MMU that sealed it. Like, yes, they lost, but they lost 7-0. Losing 55-0 to Lancashire, fine, cool.
Yeah, that's nothing.
That's
Yeah,
expected. Like, I'm not going to go, oh, you're terrible. Because if Manchester Tyrants lose 55-0 to Lancashire, I won't be shocked. I'll go, yeah, fine. It's Lancashire.
yeah,
But only losing 7-0 against MMU, who I'd argue is just the third place team in that division. They're the
yeah,
little bridge, they're the gap.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe there's promise. There's maybe I don't think I don't think they've scored a point this season. However,
Liverpool.
yeah,
Let me check.
I'm
Let
not,
me check. That's a good.
I'm unsure. And obviously, if they haven't scored a point, well, I don't think Edge Hill's scored a point either.
No, sorry. Liverpool have scored a point because I remember whatever the result was, Jamie's prediction went out the window. But Liverpool have scored points so
There
far.
we go then. So I don't think Edge Hill have then in that case. So my confidence in the Liverpool offense is slightly higher than the Edge Hill offense.
Yeah,
And my confidence in the Liverpool defense is slightly higher than my confidence in the Edge Hill defense. I think Edge Hill have a good defense. When we played them, their defense was very good. They've clearly just lost players that haven't left it on a D1 level.
yeah. That's always the way. I mean, like you can obviously bring people back from master's degrees, but
Yeah, they
I
have
mean,
done that.
I mean, it's one of those things where, like, if you're about to be promoted to Div 1, that you get a course in basket weaving to come back and
Yeah,
help the squad. You know what I mean?
yeah. I noticed that their president last year, he was posting all about, I've graduated, I can't wait to be fully gone. And then they got promoted to Div 1 and all of a sudden he's back in Edge Hill doing some masters.
Yeah, yeah, and two right as well,
Enjoy your Div 1 season, however short-lived it is.
Yeah. Midlands won. Sheffield obviously having a big loss last week to Hallam. They're facing Leicester. Leicester 0-4.
Are they 0-4 already?
Yeah. Well, according to me, they are. Let me check that. They might be the only. If that's correct, I think they might be the only 0-4 team in the entire country.
They'll be the only 0-5 team in the country as well.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, to be fair, like I'll touch it on. I'm disappointed with. I'm sure they are as well.
yes, so am
Um,
I. I,
I'm dis.
I,
I'm disappointed with. Sorry, they're 0-3, not 0-4.
oh, okay, that's fine. They'll be the only over 4 team next week, though.
They won't be. They
I
won't
went.
be the only 0-4 team next week.
Why? Who else are we over for?
Um, someone else. Don't jump in front of me.
Oh, okay. No, I went to bat for Leicester at the start of the season. I said I thought they could be better than Sheffield and Derby. Boy, was I wrong. I really, really must hold my hands up there and go, wow.
Yeah, I'm.
Maybe
I'm dis. I'm. I am. I feel. I'm sort of sharing your pain here. Like you look at some of the results from the Longhorns last year. You're like, there's something here. There's
well,
some.
they made
There
the
is some.
playoffs.
Yeah, like there's something here for the Longhorns. They could. They could. With some more key pieces in, a very very tight division. Don't get me wrong. Actually, be a bit of a dark horse here, and it's just not transpired that way at all.
No, I agree. And I think it's quite a cut and dry game. I think it'll be interesting now seeing how Derby play against a team like Hallam.
Yes,
But can only play with what you got.
it's going to be an interesting one with Derby again. I think I say this every preview show. They got to be looking at the Northern one, going, okay, we might be able to stay in this one.
I don't think it's a hot take here to say that Liverpool, Edge Hill, and Leicester are the 3 teams that go down from Div 1 in the north.
Well, I mean, next week is when we reach the halfway point of the season, and that's where, we can have a bit more steam behind some of these statements, where we can go, okay, it's halfway through the season, you've not won a game, and they've not been particularly close. That's when we can sort of have a bit more steam with this. Obviously, it's only 1 week's difference, but that's how I feel. So, I mean, Leicester. I mean, realistically, 0-4 is a difficult road. It's a very, very difficult road to come back from. It's for me. It's not sort of the same as the Barracuda falling to 0-2 when when those two opponents both have been Bournemouth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's different. You got to look at that division and
I,
dependent on this loss to the Sabres. Yeah,
yeah, it's game.
that's it. So then the other one, Derby versus the Green.
It's
I
cut
think
and dry.
but I think it's damage limitation here for Derby. 1-1 currently for the Braves. I think it's damage limitation. If they can keep it nice and close, then you can put a bit. You can start looking at Derby with some raised eyebrows, like, oh, that's okay. But I don't think there's much expectation here for them to beat Notts Green. I do think it'll come down to Hallam and Green again. So yeah, you got anything, Cam? Are you looking at your Just Eat order? What's going on?
No, I've not ordered anything off Just Eat. Sorry, I had to do something there for work.
Yeah, this what you did for work.
Apologies.
Right now.
Sorry, I know I get paid a full living wage to be here.
Yeah, same. Yeah, that's it. I mean, Southwest one of the games that I'll be at for a fun day out in Bath. Is going to be the Killer Bees versus the Bournemouth Uni Bobcats. Again, the Killer Bees, they've already played Bournemouth.
Hear me out here. I think Bath are very, very underrated.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I personally, I think they might be better than Bristol. I think Bath versus Bristol is going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah. And I'm fairly certain that's the Friday night game for Bristol. So
It'll be a beauty.
So they've asked me to go down for it, so I will be there. But I agree. I think Bath versus Bristol will be a very, very interesting game.
Yeah.
That said,
they're not going to beat Bournemouth.
no, and I think there just needs to be one team that has the stability to run the table, excluding the Bobcats, and they'll win the div. It's as clear as day, right? But because, to be fair to Bath, only losing to Bournemouth, they still could do it. I mean, technically, so could Bristol as well. But if you really deep it, I think you're absolutely correct. I think when it comes down to that Killer Bees versus Bristol game, which I don't think is next week. I think it's the week after because I'm fairly certain it's Bristol versus Southampton. No. Oh no, because they. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's the week after. Don't quote me on that. I mean, I could just find out, I suppose. Are you finding out, or are you doing something for work?
No, apologies. Was checking something.
Okay.
Awesome.
I could just look in my DMs, I suppose. Yeah, I'm fairly certain it's definitely the Friday night game. I know that for a fact. But
It's
yeah, it's the week after. It's the week after. That will be a good game. Barracuda and Plymouth. Barracuda record their second win of the season here. I can't see anything different.
yeah, no, that's it.
I think that there's too many people that have left Plymouth here for them to compete massively. Southeast 1, UCL 0-2 versus KCL 1-0. KCL very much suffering from like a poor ranking position just because they've only played one game. KCL really could be a force in the southeast, but because we're 6 weeks in now and they've played one game, it's difficult to really say.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think they're in a good spot though.
They're in a good spot. I mean, UCL 0-2, but obviously with that walkover being taken off of the record of Kingston, so they don't have any negative points. It really is an arms race between UCL and Kingston to do anything. Now, I think one of the more interesting games this week, the rematch of the Kent Falcons versus the Brighton Panthers, 12-0 2 weeks ago. However, to the Brighton Panthers. However, the majority of us have picked Kent Falcons to get their win back over Brighton, despite the fact that the Brighton Panthers are 3-0. Why do you think that is, Cam?
I picked Brighton.
Okay, but I'm still asking you the question.
Oh, because you all have false hope. That's my answer.
Do you really back Brighton that much?
I'm not going to say like, oh, I'm going to the hills. I'm going to back. If they lose the game, I'm going to eat my own socks. I'm not going to say that. Like, oh, if I lose the game, I'll get, I don't know, Kent Falcons tattooed in bright red ink across my forehead to prove how sorry I am. Not on that level.
No.
But I think Brighton are in form. They're doing well. They've clearly got some confidence. They've clearly got some swagger around them. They've brought guys back for Masters because they've got a guy playing still who went to school with my partner, and she's a year older than me, so he's been there for a while.
Yeah.
They've got guys that they've been there for a while. So they clearly have momentum. They've got a good team. You keep a guy around for 5 years, there's got to be some sort of chemistry built at some point. Otherwise, you're wondering what's gone wrong. So something's clearly clicked. New head coach has clearly come in and done well with them. So that's it. That's my perspective.
To be fair, I can't argue with that. I mean, I would still be very surprised Kent lose this game. I mean, at this point, well, I guess when it comes to Brighton and KCL is when you've really got to slam the door shut that Brighton are going to win the div. But I just felt bad that Brighton beat them 12-0, and we're all going, I don't care about that. Kent Falcons, please. It could be one of the easiest victories of all time for you in the picks.
Yeah, I've had some bad ones though recently.
Yeah, you have.
Are indefensible.
You've still got some indefensibles. Southern 1, the Brum Lions taking on the UEA Pirates. Birmingham keeping games close. UEA not doing that. For me, Birmingham Lions, I don't think they're 1-1. They're not getting. Birmingham Lions are getting relegated. They're just not.
The UEA Pirates are.
That's what he said. That, not me.
Well, you can't lose to a team that has 19 players and go, oh, we're gonna win still. We're staying up. You can't. We all said, it's either Oxford or UEA that go down. The game last week decides which of those two it is. Lo and behold, the outcome's there. We can't now go back on what we've.
Did you not hear what I said? I said that next week is when we can start being a bit more aggressive with these with
Next week's
these.
when you can start being more aggressive. I have no professional reputation that gets staked on these opinions. You have, what is the word? Respect and authority on the
Tenure.
matter.
I have tenure, is what
And
I have.
people listen to what you say and go, maybe he's saying the truth. I say it and they go, look at that nut job stood on the street corner holding up a cardboard sign saying the end of the world is near. That's it. I'm holding up a big cardboard sign now going, Edge Hill and UEA are both getting relegated. And maybe the people will listen. Maybe they won't. But next week, when the world does end and both those teams are still getting relegated, then I'll stand here and say, who's crazy now?
That is the most poetic thing you've ever said. I just want to point that out to you. But
Thank you.
it's true. But again, I just don't see it for Birmingham. UEA next week is when I will decide. I've decided I'm going to do a big long post and put it on First Down Mag again. Division 2, a game that I'm interested in. I would have been a lot more interested in if both of them would have won their first games, of course. The Coventry University Jets hosting the Lincoln Colonials, both their second games of the season. There's still playoff hope. I do think that the promotional war will be going to Cambridge, not just the Pythons, but the city of Cambridge. I believe it will
Oh,
be
yeah.
either out of the Siege or the Pythons, but there's still playoff chances here. I think it's a big game. I'm unsure if Lincoln have ever actually beaten Coventry,
I
and
don't know.
I don't think so. I remember when I was playing for Lincoln years and years ago. I think it was my second year. It was when Coventry were back down. Didn't win that one. Tell you that for free. But I still think it's a good. I think it's a good litmus test for both of these teams. Lincoln have had some time to go away and prepare. Coventry didn't lose by a whole lot, and to be fair, neither did Lincoln. They lost by a point. I'm very interested. Like, if if UEA, sorry, if UWE versus Durham wasn't on the Saturday, I probably would go. I probably would have gone to Coventry versus Lincoln. Like, I am interested in that game.
Look, I know people on both teams. I've spoken with both. Coventry claim they only lost the game against Cambridge because what was it? 270 penalty yards they gave up, which
Sorry.
is ridiculous, if true.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I blame it. I blame it all on
that might be enough for a have a day graphic.
I blame it all on the bagpipes. I think that was all as a direct result. And they don't have to deal with that. But I think Cambridge and ARU are, maybe Cambridge is the city of football this year. Maybe the Cambridgeshire Cats will win it all. We'll have a see. But from what I know from speaking to both teams, I think I'm the only person that's picked Coventry, and I'm not too sure why that is.
Yeah.
I don't think the Lincoln's game against ARU, whilst it was close, the scoreline tells you that it was way closer than it actually was. It was self-officiated. There was a total of, and I've seen the footage, there was a total of 4 flags thrown in the entire game. And that is not because both teams are disciplined. God, no. No, it's because no flags were thrown. The refs were not watching holding calls. But that is a moot point.
Seems like a great game to play.
It was an absolute mudbath as well. Kiel would have been absolutely delighted to play in that sort of weather. I don't think either team passed the ball for more than probably 20 yards. And as we've seen, ARU's very good at passing the ball this year. 35 points against DMU. I think every touchdown was a passing touchdown from what they've said. I think the Lincoln Coventry game is going to be very good. I'm not sure it'll be as competitive as you guys think it might be.
Yeah, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Lincoln walk away with a victory here.
I really hope they do. I've said this to people on Lincoln I've spoken to. I would always rather be wrong with the pick. I'm never going to sit here and come on next week and specifically go, they lost. I knew it. That's amazing. I don't want them to lose. It's just from what I know, and unfortunately, what I know about things like training attendance, I can't sit here and in good faith go, Lincoln are going to do well. You know, when you've got running backs playing D tackle, we're we're somewhere.
Basically, you're out. You're no more. You're not invited to any more Lincoln events that I'm invited to because of
We
alums.
can't be seen. Can't be
No,
seen.
I'm not with this. Let's move on to the other one. I mean, the biggest game in the Midlands too, as it stands, the first
Ooh.
edition of the Coldham's Cup this year, Cambridge versus ARU. I've had a few battles with Cambridge in the DMs because they're like, "Why are we not ranked in the top 10?" And it's for me, it's my
Well,
opinion
they
is
are.
oh,
They're
sorry,
10th.
they wanted
They
they
were
want
annoyed they went higher. And
yeah, and right, okay. I'm going to say this now publicly. Number one, I think ARU have more juice. I think they've got a bit more, and like that's my opinion, right? But then also, the reason why Cambridge are ranked lower is because I do not think that the winner of the Division Two North Championship is going to be coming from the Midlands. I
ooh.
No, no. Like I don't think that. I think that there's, obviously Hull, York, and Sunderland are currently messing that one up for me. But I,
Yeah,
st-
I don't know what they're
but
doing.
I still think that that division is more likely to produce a Division Two North winner than the Midlands.
I,
You look to the northwest, and you look at Lancaster, you look at LJMU, you guess
Salford.
LJMU. No, you guess LJMU because they still haven't played, but Salford as well. I think it wouldn't surprise me if the Division Two North champion comes out of the Northwest. As far as I'm concerned, it's Northwest, Northeast, and then Midlands.
I think it depends on the scoreline. If ARU come in here and they put up 30 odd, 40 odd on Cambridge, I look at ARU and go, that is a team that is going for it all. And everything
But
I've heard out of the
but
ARU camp
I'd
suggests it.
I'd argue the inverse as well.
Oh
If
yeah,
they're
of course. If
if
Cambridge put up 40, then I look at it and go, damn, Cambridge are on it.
yeah, but I just can't right now. I can't see it, and that's why
See,
both teams are ranked low.
You're going to hate me for saying this. Allegedly, Cambridge have another American back there at quarterback. He's not a Marine this time, but allegedly there's one back there, and streets are saying he's better than the one last year, and the one last year was damn good.
But I mean, it's a big game. I think predominantly. I think we've all gone for the Pythons, haven't we?
No, I went for ARU, I believe.
AIU. Okay.
Um, I think ARU. I've spoken with them a little bit. They're very confident in their pass game. They claim that Cambridge's best attributes are the run game. They claim their best defensive attributes are stopping the run game. So they're claiming to be the absolute counter to what they're claiming Cambridge is best at stopping the run and they're best at passing. They're literally claiming to be the yin to their yang. If the claims are true, we'll see. I'm again. I base my Midlands 2 knowledge off of the rumours I hear, which when I hear them from people that play on teams, they could be wildly, wildly misconstrued.
Terrible.
That's it. If a team comes out and goes, we're the best in the country, we're going to absolutely destroy everybody. I'm not always
Why
going
are
to
they white,
listen
bro?
to.
Why are they Australian?
I don't know. I thought I'd add a bit of flair to it.
Oh, let's move on. Will we finally? Will we finally get a team that will win a game in the Northeast 2? Hull versus Sunderland.
I really want to say no. I just want to see another draw. I just want every team in that division to draw a game, and then York St John come out and they win. They win one game, and they go top of that table because you're one and I don't know. You're one and well, rest of the games are draws. Every game's a draw except for a 2-0 victory over Hull from York St John Jaguars, where all they get is.
This is it. Like
You heard it here first.
it is crazy that next week will be the midway point of the season, and LJMU and York St John still have not touched a football. Well, they've not touched a football field in regular season play, which is crazy work, of course. But
Neither have Aberdeen.
they've at least had like a scrimmage, right? But Like York said,
Yeah.
the postponements obviously have put them aside. If it is a draw, then just shut down the Northeast too.
Just close the
Shut
division. It's not.
shut it down. Shut it down. But I mean, Sunderland switched to be people's favourites. Hull obviously drawing with York. I mean, both teams drawing with York. You'd have to at least assume
Well,
that
that was a win
these,
for That was a win for Hull, apparently. Remember,
that's what
Victory
they said.
Royale.
Imagine Victory Royale in a draw. That's crazy.
A draw is a win. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously both teams are pretty evenly matched here from what we can actually take away here. But I think just with preseason predictions, you got to go with the Spartans.
Yeah. I mean, I see Americans. I pick. That's it, really.
Yeah, sometimes it's as simple as that. Southwest 2, the season debut, and I will be at this one as well, despite it being really early in the morning. 10 o'clock. It's not that early. Bath Spa versus Swansea.
What game?
I would love it if Bath Spa just pulled up. Just
0-0.
absolutely no.
It's in the DNA of Swansea.
No, it's not. Well, here's the thing. What I'm interested to see here from Swansea is that you have to expect that the defense of Swansea is actually quite good. So I'm actually excited to see how Swansea play. And again, I'd love it if Bath Spa can walk away with a victory here. But I just don't see it. I think it is still going to be in that division. It's going to be the UE2s versus the Titans.
Bath Spa will not win this game.
No? You coming, Nathan? No, I'm going to the UE Bulls and the Durham Saints on Saturday. Tebs, no, it's fine.
Yeah, spell it with 2 B's.
Yeah, 2 B's. Yeah, it's it's one of those things, Nathan, where like I think I had all 3 Saturday games being like, oh, can you come down for it? And I'm like, yeah, I can do. And then I didn't realize that UE versus Durham was on Saturday, and I'm like, oh,
oh, sorry guys.
not like no, because this is the thing. So NT versus Warwick, good game. Cardiff versus Exeter, good game. UE versus Durham, good game.
Great game.
But for me, it's a case of I know that I can go and see Warwick. I know that I can go and see Exeter. I know that I can see Exeter and Cardiff. I know that I can go and see NTU versus Warwick, and it's not too much of it's a drive, but it's not too much of a drive. I am not driving to Durham. I'm not doing that. So I need to take.
What do you mean? It's a short journey. It's only
I'm not
5 hours.
No, it is. I need to be able to see. I want to see Durham in person, and to do that, like the closest one would then be Nottingham. But if it's right there, Exeter kicks off at 12:30, be over by 3:30, then an hour up. It's not an hour.
Yeah, it's not an hour.
It's not an hour, Nathan.
No way.
But also, like I'm busy in the morning.
Checking this.
It's not. But I appreciate Nathan's gusto there, but no, I'm busy in the morning on Saturday, and not in the evenings, obviously, because that's why I'm going to the Durham versus UE game. But yeah, I'm interested to see what both teams could do. Probably more so Swansea, but that's only because Bath Spa haven't actually played yet. But I will have flashbacks standing on that pitch, at an angle and hopefully not falling over. I just beg it's not too cold. That's it. That's all I want.
It will be.
It'll be freezing, won't it? Yeah.
Should we start doing like the Uniball weather report on a Friday night?
Oh, yeah, we might do.
Here's what the schedule is ahead. On Saturday and Sunday, it's going to rain. It's going to rain.
It's actually.
Yeah.
I need to invest in an umbrella.
Bristol, but Bristol is an hour and a half away from Exeter. It's not an hour. I checked Google Maps.
Thought they were playing in Bristol. They are playing in Bristol. What? Nathan, you're confusing me. Southern 2. We'll start with this one. Holloway 1-1 versus the 0-2 Chichester Spitfires.
0-3 Chichester Spitfires.
0-3 Chichester Spitfires.
No, as in that's what they will be.
No, I don't think it's that cut and dry. If I'm completely, I don't think it's that cut and dry. If I'm completely honest, and that's why I picked the Chichester Spitfires. I'm just saying here, like when it comes to the Southern Water 2, there is a split. There is a split. It is Surrey, Sussex, and Reading at the top, and then you've got Solent, Holloway, and Chichester at the bottom, right? And I don't think it's. I don't know. I would rather put like a throw a wild pick out there on the Spitfires on this game.
Be a real man and throw a pick out on something really ridiculous. Say Edge Hill are going to win the game.
No, but I don't think it's at the same level, right? Is that
no?
I don't think it's the same level. Obviously, Holloway, they're coming in with one victory, whilst Chichester haven't got any. The thing is though, it's Royal Holloway used to be a D1 contender, and then they've just as it happens, cyclones they just fall off, right? I don't think the Holloway are going to be contending here for the playoffs.
Yeah,
but yes, I'm aware. But Chichester, why not Chichester? Why not?
But why Chichester? I would argue that
Because I think
why Chichester is more important than why not Chichester.
Confidence.
But misplaced confidence.
Here's the thing: if this comes off, party in Chichester. If it doesn't, I won't feel too bad about it. It's one pick, and truthfully I don't think it's. I've made some silly picks this year, right? I just have.
Yeah, you have.
Because I'm trying to sort of be a bit more divisive and not just be boring. And this one, I don't feel as though that I'm being completely unrealistic here. That Chichester could win this game. It's as simple as that, and that might be an indictment of my feelings towards Royal Holloway. Yes, you will get your game balls, by the way, but I don't think it's that wild of a pick. If Chichester can put points on Reading, they can put points on the Royal Holloway Bears.
Yeah, I don't doubt they can put points on them.
You're boring. Surrey versus Sussex.
Great game.
Two teams in that sort of top three in the Southern two. Realistically, this game, whoever wins this game, they can sort of take their promotional dreams and maybe kiss them goodbye. And it's nice to it's not nice. Well, it's nice to have as a neutral this early on, but I do think that you lose this game. Congratulations, you'll be playing Southern 2 football next year.
Agreed.
It's a good game. Surrey, obviously, both teams have only won one game. Surrey, Surrey have been lurking. I feel Surrey have been lurking for a while, but I still think, in my heart of hearts, it's the year of the Sussex Saxons, and nothing will convince me otherwise.
Yeah, fair.
Is that it? You got nothing else to say on that game?
No, I really don't. It's just going to be a good game.
It's just going to be a good game. They always tend to be. I'm trying to promote the narrative that Surrey versus Sussex is a rivalry game now. It's been going on for too long.
It should be. The names are too similar.
Yeah,
Surrey, Sussex.
Yeah, but I don't know what I'd call it. That's the problem.
The Sussy Derby.
So this has been the Week 6 preview. We will see you. Well, I'll see you on Saturday and Sunday. If you pay attention to our Instagram, I will be at UE versus Durham, Bath Spa versus Swansea, and the Bath Killer Bees versus the Bournemouth University Bobcats over the weekend. The recap show will be at 6 p.m. on Monday, or it might be at 5:30, depending on how many guests we have. We will have some guests on. But from that, pay attention to the Instagram, like, share, follow, subscribe, all that nonsense. Cam's going to go and have a dodgy just eat, as he's told me, and we will see you, well, probably Saturday, if I'm honest.